Just so everybody is aware, we got a bunch of fun stuff coming up. Look who just entered in the waiting room. We got the only Aaron Duncan. Great interview that we're going to have with Aaron Duncan of the Duncan Brothers. And that's going to be handled with our very own Natasha Mustang Marie. So just give me a moment. We'll get into this. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring in Natasha, our very own Mustang Marie. Thank you for being here. And we're going to welcome Aaron Duncan also. Let's let him into the room. Looks like he's here doing his thing. Welcome, Aaron. Thank you for being here, man. And Mustang Marie, take it away. Whoa. It's up to you guys.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good.
Hold on.
So thank you so much for being on the show today. We really appreciate you guys being here. Aaron, I think last time we saw each other was probably at Autorama, right?
Yeah. Hold on. The thing's all delayed right now. Kill the Facebook feed, Joe. All right, are we there?
Yes.
All right, cool. It was being weird. So you said the last time you seen me was the Autorama, so that would be correct.
Yes.
Cool.
Awesome. So I know we have a lot of really great videos that you're going to be showing us today. So I'm kind of just going to jump right into it, if you don't mind. So I know that, Duncan Brothers you've basically been building cars for about 70 years now. So what would you say some of the principles that were kind of set forth by Leonard and Barnett Duncan that you kind of still follow today?
Well, unfortunately, I never got to meet those guys, but they, Barnett I did. But they influenced my dad, who so on influenced us. And we just always grew up around Mustangs. And having my dad and my Uncle Randy, the two brothers, involved in doing this has just been an outstanding experience. And, my brother and I, we kind of got into this industry a couple of years ago, and the timing was right to join my dad and his brother, my Uncle Randy, to kind of continue that tradition of Mustang, but kind of try to take it to a different level. Because Joey and I were real into the late model thing, and they were into the classic thing. And I always loved and appreciate the classics, owned one myself. But it was about kind of combining them that was always the interest to us.
That's awesome. Actually, we have a comment from Anthony, who actually wrote the Bullet book, and he basically just wanted to let me tell you that he really admires the work that you did, especially for the retro Bullet, and it's actually one of the cars that he profiled in his book. So he just wanted to kind of thank you once again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I bought the book and I love it. Absolutely love it.
My book is actually in Canada right now, so I haven't been able to read it.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It's currently stuck there, but hopefully when I get back next week, it'll be some great reading material for me.
For sure.
So I know that you guys decided to kind of make the transition from building privately to now offering your builds to the public. What really led you guys to kind of make that transition?
Actually, it was really funny because my brother and I were between companies, and we really didn't know what we wanted to do next. We knew we kind of had something in mind. And what ended up happening was I got a call from SCT Performance, and they were familiar that we had left the previous company we were with, and said, hey, we want you to do something for SEMA this year. This was last year. And at this point, it was June or July. And they said, I was like, I'm actually not with them anymore. I really don't know kind of the direction we should go in on it. And then I got thinking about it. The moment I hung up the phone, I was like, wait a minute, I got my buddy Trevor's car in our shop, and started conceptualizing ideas, and then called my brother, called my dad, and we pretty much pulled a crew together. And that's literally how this thing started into a full-time thing. So first big build was a build at SEMA. And then from there, it's just been like someone put a rocket ship on our back as far as doing the Duncan Brothers thing. So it's been nuts for sure.
It's funny you bring that up. Actually, it's kind of the perfect segue, because I was going to be my next question. Having this big WWE superstar known as Ricochet or Trevor.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I always call him Trevor, not Ricochet. Sorry. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, you obviously helped build that boss SCT Mustang for him.
Yes.
So it's actually a 3-part question. So what was your overall experience like at SEMA?
Oh, I mean, I had been in years previous, but kind of doing something we really wanted to do. Last year, it was the most gratifying experience I've ever had because we worked so long and so many hours and trying to get the car completely dialed in the way, not just we wanted it, but the way Trevor would want it. And having my family there and knowing, every one of us put our hands to it. Like there was no one weak link in the chain. Like if it hadn't been everybody involved, it never would have happened. Like if every single person in it like contributed in a big, big way. So doing that and having them at SEMA was just an amazing experience.
And for those of you, or for those kind of listening in who may not know your relationship kind of with Trevor, can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Oh, so Trevor was my childhood best friend. We've been best friends. We met in 6th grade, graduated high school together. And I mean, from age 15, he started wrestling at this place in Brookport, Illinois. We're in Paducah, Kentucky, very close to Illinois. And he started wrestling and flipping off everything and doing this and doing that. And it was always a thing. Like we were like, oh man, it's one day if someone's seen him perform, he'd make it to the next level. And always had faith in him. And we had always supported each other's dreams. And he's a car guy at his core. And if he wasn't doing the stuff in WWE, he'd be in the shop with us. So that relationship, as he got famous and stuff, our friendship never changed. We did our Route 66 trip, and every time he became a little bit of a diva or something, I call him Ricochet when he's being when he's being a pain, and then call him Trevor when he's being cool. So I'm like, oh, Ricochet now. So.
Yeah, he was kind of telling me about that Route 66 trip. It's actually on my bucket list and sounds like he had a really good time. So glad you guys were kind of able to do that. Now that we're actually talking about his particular Mustang, can you kind of go into detail, just kind of talk about the build a little bit?
Yeah, so that Mustang was actually a prototype from the previous company we'd worked for, Retro Built Motors, and it had kind of had a bit of an identity crisis. It had been like 4 or 5 different cars at one point, and he had bought it. And when he bought it, I told him, look, I promise if you buy this thing, one day I'm going to make it look awesome. And so his only intentions with the car was to paint it matte black. And so then when it became a SEMA car, I said, hey, I kind of got these ideas, these other designs. We'll do the matte black thing and make it go a little bit further. And so the concept we came up with was doing a reverse on it of what the boss stripes would be. And just so people know, his car is actually a 2010 Mustang GT. So we had to make the car look like a 69. And the whole idea was to make it look as much like a 69 as humanly possible. And we did, I'm pretty proud of that car because it has the classic nods to it, but it definitely has a resto modded look very heavily to it with the wheels and the color choice and the reverse. And it's funny because the blue pinstripe we added to the car that would be, looked at as the small stripe on the ball style stripes. That was just, we wanted that blue because that was SCT's blue. So we put that in there just for that reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So obviously, as a family-owned business, I'm sure that there's probably often times where you may agree and disagree on what goes into a build. So what would you say are the differences in style between kind of just everybody involved in your family?
Well, lately, knock on wood, we've all been on the same page. But, there's who misplaced my tool here and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, it's in your hand, dude. Like, so there's a lot of, there's a lot of agreements and a lot of disagreements. But the fun, we can all laugh about it most of the time at the end of the day. And it only gets heated once in a while. And when it does, we go out back and fight each other barehanded. So, we always have that mission statement of, it's not impossible until someone does it. And so we always have that in mind. And at times, especially if I come up with a crazy idea, my dad and Randy are just like, there is no freaking way. Like, it ain't good. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. And I'm like, well, let's just try because let's be present. Let's be in the present moment, not worry about the failing. We haven't even failed yet. Like, so what are we worried about? So there's a lot of trying and stuff.
And I know you guys, you're kind of really all about that modern vintage. So I think this would probably be the perfect segue of what you can kind of tell us that you're working on next and the big unveil for today.
Oh, okay. So we really wanted to kind of go back to the drawing board on the way the 67 modern vintage cars would look. And when I say 67, I mean doing an S197 into a 67. So essentially, we had some friends that we'd met a couple of years ago at an MCA show in McAllen, Texas. And they had a real 67 Fastback that my brother and I just absolutely fell in love with. And we always thought it would be super killer to build them an exact duplicate of that car, but on a more modern platform. So he got his wife a 2006 Mustang GT, and they'd never seen it. They sent it to us. They sent it directly to us, and he found the silliest looking car I've ever seen. Like it had a pirate flame skull Caribbean theme to it. To each his own. And if the person who originally owned that car is out there, I want to apologize for coming off mean, but you might want to get your eyes checked. But yeah, so doing that transformation, it was one of those things that definitely brought us closer as a family too. But trying to just dial in every detail to the smallest thing to make it look like their car, down to making sure the letters were in the right place, to making sure the yellow oranges colors were the same. And by the way, he was a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with football out there. I'm not all that much. I know Al Bundy was the greatest quarterback of all time. But as far as he was a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and that was super influential on his 67. So we had to follow the same influence on this car.
Well, I only have the CFL, so Canadian football, not as exciting. But
Yeah.
I think Doug is ready to kind of roll the film or the video, and we'll watch that and we'll ask some more questions.
Roll through it, Doug. Let's go.
Aaron, that was an amazing video, and I'm actually surprised I was able to not look at any of the photos because I know some of them like leaked from before. I'm like, no, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be patient, and I'm going to wait to see the unveil when I was going to be interviewing you. And I think like what we were kind of talking about before about that modern vintage, I think you nailed it. I mean, I drive a 67 Mustang myself.
Right.
Kind of just seen the work you did on that car. Actually, Sandy is in the group chat, and she's just like thanking you once again for kind of making her dreams.
That's the most gratifying part of ever doing anything to a person's car is the actual customer just being happy. So thank you, Sandy.
Absolutely, and I think you and the team did an incredible job, and seeing those two cars side by side, it is kind of the perfect blend of old meets new or new meets old, like you said about the Restamod and whatnot. I do have a couple of questions from people in the Facebook group, so I want to make sure I ask those.
Totally.
So the first question comes from Alex, and he asked, do you have a picture catalog or video record of the work that you did on that car, because it would be really great, really neat to see.
Oh Lord. I mean, you just seen a tiny nugget of some of that car, and that was when we were delivering. I mean, we have pictures and videos on top of videos and pictures. So Alex, make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all the other Skynet stuff, because we for sure, you're going to see a lot of documentation on that car, and you could probably go backlog some of the stuff of us building it in the process.
Yeah, it would probably be really great for you to actually include it in the Facebook group as well, so that people can see more of the great build and just what went into it. And then I have another question here from, I believe it was Tony. He asked whether the Retro Bullet provided the experience basis, because he was just mentioning how proportionally excellent it was.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Alex. My work at Retrobuilt and the work we did with Retrobuilt, I would never trade that for anything in the world. It was definitely a thing that it provided us experience and made us want to continue that kind of work, but also made us significantly more hungry and made us know that we could just push it a little bit further and a little bit more. So the Retro Bullet definitely helped set the stage for what would be to come.
And what's next after this one?
Oh Lord, we got 2 SEMA cars we're building right now. One of which we're doing a John Wick car, and out of a 2012 Mustang GT. And then we're doing a 2011 convertible to look like a 69 Shelby convertible. And then lastly, it looks like, I mean, this isn't official. This one's not official yet. The other 2, they're going to be there next year for sure. But we're conceptualizing the idea of doing a S550 that looks like a wide body 68 Shelby. So we got a couple different irons in the fire, so to speak.
Awesome. And we're just kind of wrapping it up here because I know we have 350s are kind of end time. But we do have just a quick, not car related question, but it's from Guido. He would like to know who your favorite band is.
Metallica. Obviously. First 4 records, I don't know. Yeah, first 4 records, I could name every one of those songs. I was playing it around a little bit beforehand, but Metallica, then second would be Megadeth. So thank you, Guido.
Awesome. Aaron, thank you so much. And again, just to kind of wrap it up, where can everybody follow you on social?
So Facebook, Duncan Brothers Customs, same with Instagram. And then of course, DuncanBrothersCustoms.com. And YouTube. Oh yeah, my brother's saying YouTube. So YouTube, Duncan Brothers Customs. We have all kinds of silly videos and stuff like that. And they, some of them are very, very out of the ordinary on some of the weird stuff we do. So
awesome. Thank you again, Aaron. And hopefully we'll be able to talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Mustang Marie. Look forward to seeing you guys down the road. So this is great. Thank you for having us. Mike Ray, thank you for everything, by the way.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron, for being here very much. And do your best to place those. If your brother would place those videos into the Facebook group, that would be great. I know that Bradley or Natasha can let you into the Facebook group. Mustangs on a Mission. The Experience is the Facebook group. Thanks for being here, man, and looking forward to talking with you a little bit further, and looking forward to seeing more photos of the build.
All right, thanks, man. Good talking to you.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the day as much as I am. This is going amazingly well, I think, and it just what we're taking place in and part of is really special. So, thanks for that great interview, Natasha, and Aaron. Thank you for doing the unveil with us, and Duncan Brothers. Thank you for being a sponsor of Mustangs on a Mission. We really appreciate it.